not even mad at the female. I just know him as a person against our son. It's demonic, bro. It's demonic, bro. It's demonic, bro. Like, he's so disrespectful when it comes to our son. It's disgusting, bro. And you know, I'm answering the phone, I'm saying I love you. I'm gonna be honest, bro. That's out of fear. It's cool, I got my people looking into the door. I don't know who's going to take it.
Excuse me, sir, what are you guys arresting her for?
A whole other charge.
A warrant out for what?
Sorry?
A warrant for what, sir?
There's a warrant for her. Right, because you gonna record me the whole way?
The whole way, beautiful.
Why?
You're a big star.
Welcome back to StarHush, where the drama never sleeps, because not even prison bars can stop Blueface from stirring up straight madness. Now he's dropping bombshells from behind bars, and guess what? He allegedly filed a CPS report on Chrisean Rock, and word is, it might have actually gotten her arrested for child endangerment. Yes, miss, while sitting in a jail cell, Blueface decided it was the perfect time to flip the whole script and expose Chrisean in the wildest way yet. And now, things are heating up fast. He's claiming that Chrisean is the real reason why their son, Junior, may have some medical concerns. And folks are finally starting to believe he might not be just running his mouth. For months, fans have been raising eyebrows at videos of the baby, quietly pointing out that something seemed a little off. But anytime someone said anything, Chrisean would instantly go on the defense. She'd snap back, call people haters, accuse them of wishing bad on her child, the whole nine. Nobody was allowed to even ask questions without getting clapped at online. But Blueface, he's been trying to sound the alarm for a while now, and this time he's not just talking, he's allegedly putting action behind it. Word in the streets is CPS might actually be launching a real investigation into Chrisean's parenting, and if that's true, this could change everything. See, here's the thing about Chrisean. Whenever someone brings up Junior or his health, she gets loud but never really explains what's going on. It's always people hating, or they don't know what they're talking about, but never a real answer. And that's got folks feeling like she's trying to hide something, or maybe in denial about it. Just a few days ago, she hopped on Instagram Live talking about how Blueface always brings up their son whenever they're fighting. But this time, it hit different. Because right after she showed off her new mystery man online, yep, a brand new boo, Blueface allegedly picked up the prison phone and went straight to reporting her. Now let's be real, Blueface can't stand the idea of Chrisean moving on. Every time she posts a new guy or even flirts online, he starts spiraling. But this time, it wasn't just jealousy, it was strategy. Allegedly, Blueface's report includes claims about neglect, saying Chrisean hasn't been keeping up with medical care for their son, who may already be struggling with developmental issues. He's even saying he has proof that she's skipped important appointments and keeps putting social media and dating over her baby's needs. People close to the situation say, this time, CPS might actually be taking it seriously. Some reports claim they've already pulled records and are reviewing everything, including online footage, Dr. No-shows, and even how Junior's been appearing in her lives. And while Chrisean still hasn't made a full statement, she's been dropping hints, saying folks are doing too much, and that she's just trying to protect her peace. But the internet isn't buying it, not this time. Blueface might be locked up, but somehow he's still pulling strings, and if this investigation turns out to be real, then this could get real messy, real fast.
You look pretty! That's your boo. I got boo in the video. Period, boo. It's a video, period. Yeah!
So when that video dropped, we already knew Blueface was about to start crashing out from behind them bars. And honestly, he didn't disappoint. Let's not forget, he and Chrisean literally got married inside a jail last December in some courthouse wedding style situation. But somehow, even locked up, he's still got time to cheat. He posted a video of one of his side chicks while being married to Chrisean. Yeah, a whole mess.
So, my name is Amani, and me and Blue been locked in since 2016, 17, and we met at work. We were shooting together, and we fell in love. No, no, but for real, like we just kept looking at each other, kept making eye contact, and then we exchanged contacts, and we just chopped it up for a cool minute. And then I came over, chefed it up, made some steak, mashed potatoes, asparagus, I ate it up, and of course I came with dessert that ate it up, and then yeah, we took a bath, cleaned ourselves up, a bubble bath with bath bombs, you know, it was 5-star setup, and then yeah, history since then.
But here's where it gets extra wild. Even though he out here entertaining other women, he still flipped out the moment Chrisean tried to move on. The minute she posted her new boo, Blueface reportedly lost it and dragged their son, Junior, into the drama again.
Understand, like, why are you doing this to our son? Like, all right, remember the last year, 2 years ago, he dropped a diss, I dropped a diss, he posted my son on Twitter. He just can't handle when I put my foot down, bro. Page, it was like one of these girls. She mentioned my son, right? He posted it on his story. I'm not even mad at the female. I just know him as a person against our son. It's demonic, bro. It's demonic, bro. It's demonic, bro. Like, he's so disrespectful when it comes to our son. It's disgusting, bro. Yeah, I love him. I'm riding for him. But I know his character traits, bro. I know his patterns, bro. As soon as we beef, he hurt our kid, and it's so evil. So I need y'all to just let him know our son is off limits while we're not seeing eye to eye, please.
Chrisean says he used their baby to lash out at her, making it clear that he's not just being messy, he's being petty and hurtful in a way that's hard to justify. But let's be real, the way Blueface been treating Junior, this ain't even new. Go all the way back to when Chrisean first announced her pregnancy, Blueface didn't show support, not even a little. In fact, he denied the baby was even his just hours after she shared the news with the world. Like clockwork, he ran to social media and tweeted, "To answer all questions, yes, me and Rock are officially done. It's strictly business. I tried it." Clearly it wasn't giving. Before she announced she's pregnant, she was with somebody else. That's not my baby. Rock been with 10 dudes in the past year. Until I see a DNA test, it's not a Blueface baby. And just like that, he set the whole internet on fire. Of course, things got chaotic real quick. The arguments were non-stop. One minute they're beefing, the next minute they're posting love songs and wedding rings. But when it came to the baby, Chrisean eventually decided to shut the rumors down once and for all. She went ahead and took a DNA test. And when those results hit, turns out Junior is Blueface's biological son. No questions, no doubts. All that loud talking he did, useless. Because the facts spoke louder than his tweets. But even after the DNA confirmed the truth, Blueface still hasn't shown the baby consistent love. Instead, he's been using Junior like a pawn in his war with Chrisean. And now he's turning that drama all the way up from behind prison walls.
What the?
It says the alleged father is not excluded as the biological father of the fetus.
Let me you the father. Babe, that's me, you're the father.
Is not
You the father.
Oh, that's what that means?
Yeah, because you be a kid, you a weird ass. What, you don't want it to... You don't want it to be a...
I'm saying,
so
you sure?
weird.
You didn't even read the paper.
You call me dumb, but you the slow one.
It says the alleged father is not... Why they write it like this, though? They could have just been like, more player.
Yeah, but they...
Now let's talk about what happened after Blueface found out he really was the baby's father. Because instead of stepping up and handling business like a grown man, he just took things to an even worse level. You'd think confirming he was the dad would have been a wake-up call, right? That maybe he'd pull it together and try to be present for his child? Nah, Blueface didn't even blink. In fact, it's like the news only made him act wilder. He got even more reckless and even more heartless. Right after the results dropped, he didn't take responsibility, didn't say he'd do better, didn't show love to that baby. Instead, he doubled down and made it crystal clear he didn't want to be a part of that child's life. Not now, not ever. Behind the scenes, he was sending Chrisean cold messages. He told her straight up that having the baby would ruin her life. One of the messages said something like, "You don't want to be tied down with a baby while I'm out with other girls." And then he added, "I'm not changing who I am. I'm still gonna cheat. I'm still gonna live how I want. You don't want to be stuck with someone like me." Can you imagine? She's pregnant, carrying his child, and this man is telling her she better not expect anything. Not support, not loyalty, not even honesty. And when she said she was keeping the baby anyway, he flipped out. He ran straight to Twitter, posting a messy thread that had people in shock. He said he refused to pay support, claiming he told her from the beginning he didn't want the baby. Then he said she was forcing it on him and that she was just trying to trap him. His words were wild. "She still got time to end it. I told her I didn't want no baby. She trying to play me. Don't fall for it." He even told the internet he was ready to brace himself because he already knew she wasn't gonna listen. But even after that baby was born and the world saw him holding his son, Blueface still wasn't claiming that child with any pride. He started saying the DNA test felt off. He acted like something was wrong with the whole situation, questioning everything. He said stuff like, "That test didn't seem right. I wasn't even in control of it. Something felt weird from the jump." Then he started pointing fingers at another guy, saying the baby looked more like him than Blueface. At one point, he even said, "I only got 2 kids with 1 baby mama, that's it. I'm not adding nothing else unless I get proof. Until then, I'm free. This just made my whole year." But here's where things get even deeper. As time went on and little Junior started growing, fans started noticing something that couldn't be ignored. He wasn't developing like other babies his age. The crying, the movements, the responses. People could tell something wasn't right. And all this time, instead of focusing on being a father, Blueface was still online, still causing drama, still using that baby as a way to take shots at Chrisean. Meanwhile, the baby's health and development became a hot topic, not just because of internet gossip, but because real people were genuinely concerned. That child didn't choose any of this, but he's the one caught in the middle of a non-stop back and forth between 2 parents who can't get it together. Once whispers started circling that Junior might be dealing with developmental delays, Blueface wasted no time hopping on that bandwagon, and not in a helpful way either. Instead of offering support or concern like a present father should, he used the whole situation to blast Chrisean all over the internet, pointing fingers and airing private details with no filter. He went straight to Twitter, putting Chrisean on blast and claiming that her behavior during pregnancy was the real reason Junior might be struggling. According to him, she was reckless from day one. He tweeted something wild like, "She smoked a blunt on the way to the hospital. She was about to perform while she was in labor, smoked all the way to giving birth." He didn't stop there. He added, "You really think I can't take custody? I didn't want to, but if she keeps slipping, I'm gonna have to do what's best." Then he really went off. He said his son wasn't born healthy because, in his words, she drank, smoked, and got into fights the entire pregnancy. She couldn't even chill for 1 month. And just when people thought it couldn't get worse, Blueface shared personal medical details about Junior, revealing he had a hernia that Chrisean hadn't gotten treated yet. And then he did something way out of line. He posted a photo that should have never hit the internet, a private medical image of the baby, talking about, "This what my son looked like and she worried about me and lil baby? Fix your kid first." Fans were instantly disturbed, not just by the post, but by the fact that he thought this was okay. When people criticized him, Blueface snapped back with, "It's my son, I can post whatever I want, who's gonna check me?" He wasn't done either. He jumped back into a long rant claiming, "Baby still hasn't had the surgery. She out here lying saying he's healthy while constantly talking about me. Fix our son first, then worry about your next man." He told everyone to tag Chrisean in his post, trying to rally the internet to his side so she'd be forced to act. He even accused her of doing nose candy again, tweeting, "I tried to keep it low, but she keep pushing me. You're not fit to be a mom, missed appointments, pushing surgeries back just to go out and party." According to Blueface, he flew out to Baltimore for what he thought was Junior's surgery, only to find out the appointment had been missed. Meanwhile, Chrisean fired right back, denying everything. She claimed Blueface was just trying to take her son away by making her look irresponsible. She clapped back hard, saying, "He knows the appointment is scheduled with the surgeon already. I've been going to every checkup in Baltimore. Don't play with me like I'm not showing up. You trying to use this situation just to get my kid taken from me. I'm doing my best." She didn't stop there. She told Blueface to worry about his own legal mess, reminding him he had a serious case hanging over his head and that his probation officer was still trying to lock him up. But even with all that said, the fans had started paying closer attention, and many were beginning to see through the chaos. That's when Chrisean suddenly began switching up her image, trying to rebrand herself. She started posting like she was cutting ties with Blueface, acting like she was done for real this time. But the internet wasn't buying it that fast. People pointed out that every time she got caught up, she shifted the blame, and now she was trying to convince everyone she was trapped in some kind of soul tie with Blueface, like that was the reason she couldn't move on. She had a whole moment on social media where she started talking like she was finally ready to heal and get herself together, like having Junior was giving her that second shot at life. She even posted a message that had fans thinking maybe, just maybe, she was turning over a new leaf. In her own words, she said, "I don't want to be Rock no more. I don't want to be famous. I messed up. I should have stayed in school." It was clear she was trying to separate all her past mess and heartbreak from the one thing she claimed she always prayed for, her child. She kept repeating that she wasn't gonna let fear run her life anymore, that she was okay with moving on, okay with letting go, okay with detaching from things that no longer served her peace. She said, "Having a child won't stop me from getting my bag. It won't stop me from learning, loving, or putting time into myself. I don't need a dollar from nobody to take care of this child. I'm blessed and highly favored. That's all that matters right now." And to top it off, she told everyone she was ready to document her journey, ups and downs and all, and claimed she was determined to win through it all. Then she dropped the bomb. She said she was cutting Blueface off for good. She said telling him no that day was her first step toward freedom. But it didn't stop there. She opened up about how hard it was to fully detach, saying, "How do you cut off a soul tie?" She admitted that even though she was trying, she still felt like she was giving a piece of herself to a man who clearly didn't want anything to do with their child. She wrote about how confused she felt, sharing, "This man texted me today and I almost fell for it. Like, what am I even doing right now?" Then she looked at Junior and reality hit her. "Cut the selfish, immature mess out," she said to herself. "You're somebody's mama now." She followed that up with a sharp message for Blueface, telling him to stop calling her, stop texting her, and to go find somebody else to bother. She added that the way he was out here moving was unsafe and dirty, and warned him to be careful before he ended up with something he couldn't shake. It was raw, emotional, and had fans hoping she was finally waking up and putting her son first. But just when it looked like she was getting serious, things started to shift again, and not in a good way. Speculation about Junior's health started swirling harder than ever. It all got worse after that wild Instagram live she did back in January. The one where she was defending tattooing Blueface's mugshot right across her face. While people were already side-eyeing her for that, what really had folks talking was the sound of Junior crying in the background. It wasn't just regular baby crying either. Something about it didn't sound right. People started saying that his cry didn't match a typical infant's. It was like something deeper was going on. The moment was chaotic, and the crying only made it worse. That's when people really began to worry that maybe Junior was dealing with more serious issues than Chrisean had been letting on, and she wasn't exactly rushing to ease anyone's concerns either.
In relations with Blue, we were still rough, on and off, whatever case may be. All right, cool. All right, cool.
But things really started taking a turn when fans began noticing something deeper than just delayed crying. People started pointing out that Junior might be having some serious vision issues. In clip after clip, he could be seen just staring into space, not reacting to movement or trying to grab anything like other babies his age would usually do. Sure, he could hold his head up, but it still looked like something wasn't adding up.
Louisiana chicken pasta. Then we got the baby mashed potatoes. Let's pray for the food. Look at his shirt too. It'll say Jesus.
Oh, that's great.
Baby, that's his name though. That's his middle name.
Jesus?
Yeah.
That's cool. Chrisean Jesus Malone. That's a famous name right there. Junior's gonna grow up to be.
Now, instead of calmly addressing the concerns or clearing the air, Chrisean immediately jumped on Instagram Live and got real defensive, insisting that her baby was completely fine. She acted like people were just being nosy or negative for no reason, but a lot of folks weren't buying it anymore.
She could be talking, walking, playing football, everything. Who is y'all to tell me what he diagnosed with, what he look like, what he sound like? Y'all don't know nothing about God, and y'all don't know nothing about nothing. You talking to me like that, so I rebuke everything y'all saying about my child, to be honest. But I like this shit, bro.
From the outside looking in, it was starting to seem like she might be in denial. And sadly, things took an even more worrying turn when Junior's first birthday rolled around. That's when everything became even harder to ignore. At his party, people noticed right away that he wasn't walking. He wasn't even standing on his own. Chrisean tried to make it seem like he was upright by holding him on her legs and angling him for the cameras. But viewers weren't fooled. People could tell she was trying to make things look better than they really were. Now, to be fair, not every kid walks by their first birthday. Some kids take their time, and that's totally normal. But when you add that to everything else people have noticed, the lack of eye contact, the stiff body posture, the awkward crying, it's no surprise fans were reading it as another major red flag. But the biggest shock came when one of Chrisean's former friends, Janet, stepped into the chat and dropped some major tea. She said Chrisean wasn't just ignoring signs, she was straight up blocking people from helping Junior. According to Janet, she tried to get him some type of medical care, but Chrisean wouldn't allow it and totally shut it down. What's worse is that even now, months after that birthday party, Chrisean still hasn't taken steps to get Junior evaluated. She popped out at a recent event with him and had him sitting on her hip, and people noticed the same thing again. Even now that he's getting close to 2 years old, the boy could barely keep his head steady. That's not something you can just brush off, and fans are getting louder with their concerns. It was honestly tough to watch, and for a lot of folks, that moment just confirmed what they had already been feeling deep down. Something is seriously off, and Chrisean is doing everything except facing the truth. Even Blueface's own mother, Carissa, has stepped up, placing the blame right on Chrisean for what's going on with Junior. People all across social media are now saying enough is enough. The calls are getting louder with fans asking how Chrisean hasn't been held accountable yet. People online are dropping comments like, how is she not locked up for what she did to that baby? And this is clear neglect. What state is she even in that they're letting her run around like this? Others are accusing her of ducking CPS altogether, while screaming that she needs to be in jail for child endangerment. Some are even pointing out how Junior struggles to make eye contact, doesn't acknowledge people the way a typical toddler would, and still isn't walking at his age. All of which they claim could have been avoided if Chrisean had taken her pregnancy more seriously. One user even wrote, that baby never had a chance with how she was treating him before he was even born. It's painful commentary, but it's not going away. Now here's where things really pop off, because word on the street is that Blueface himself might have pulled the ultimate wildcard move. Allegedly, even from behind bars, he made an official call to CPS and reported Chrisean for child endangerment. Yes, while sitting in a jail cell, he apparently filed a report that has now sparked a real investigation into Chrisean's parenting. And honestly, this development has got everybody talking, because this ain't just fan speculation anymore. This could be the start of real legal trouble for Chrisean, but even with the report in play, not everybody's giving Blueface credit. A lot of people think he's not doing this out of concern for Junior, but out of spite. They believe he's just mad that Chrisean finally moved on with somebody else, and he's using CPS to get back at her. So now we're left with two messy realities. One where a baby might not be getting the care he truly needs, and another where his parents are too busy playing toxic games to step up for him. But I gotta know, what do you think? Is Blueface being messy and petty, or is he finally doing something right, even if it's for the wrong reasons? And should Chrisean be held responsible if the neglect claims turn out to be true? Drop your thoughts and hot takes in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap that bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. Catch you in the next one, my stars and hushers.